Hello Tigers, and welcome to the TMNtv newscast for Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. Stay tuned for the latest news at Fort Hays State University and around Northwest Kansas and the nation. I am Lauren Davis, and Jenna Hawley will be here shortly with a look at what's going on around the globe. And Haley White will fill you in on what's happening in the sports world. But first, here's what's making news in Tigerland. Welcome to Kansas, where Mother Nature can change her mind as quickly as a blink of an eye. That's evident when you look at the forecast for this week alone. Snow is hitting the region Wednesday with 1 to 4 inches of accumulation expected in the Hays area, along with winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. That strong north wind was expected to create blowing and drifting snow, and was causing travel issues in western Kansas and eastern Colorado as Interstate 70 was closed for hazardous conditions. The National Weather Service office in Dodge City issued a winter weather advisory for most of its coverage areas, which includes Hays and Ellis County. The advisory was set to expire late Wednesday. Some areas of western Kansas also were expected to see freezing rain, which could cause even more issues for travelers. But the storm system was forecast to push across Kansas relatively quickly, leaving sunny skies and temperatures warming up through the weekend. Highs are expected to be near 50 on Saturday and in the 40s most of next week, unless Mother Nature has another unexpected change of plans. A local business provided an opportunity for FHSU students to learn more about the vegan lifestyle recently. Herbivora, a community group organized with the intent to provide learning opportunities about plant-based health and food eating options, hosted a vegan potluck October 26th at Otter Juice Company in Hays. According to a report by TMN reporter Isabella Brown, the potlucks began in 2009 before going on hiatus for a few years. They restarted in 2018. Since Otter Juice Company will be closing soon, the potlucks will move to a different location. To find out more about the potlucks and the group, see Isabella's story at tigermedianet.com. The Women's Leadership Project recently hosted an event to raise awareness about services available to FHSU students on and off campus. TMN journalist Carissa Brown has this report.
On Thursday, the Women's Leadership Project, along with the Center for Civic Leadership, put on the Red Flag Campaign Awareness Walk. The walk served to help educate students on the different services that they have access to within FHSU and the community of Hays related to domestic or gender-based violence.
So the Red Flag Campaign is an event that is put on every year that the colleges are lucky enough to do, and it's to help raise awareness for domestic violence, sexual assault, and gender-based violence. The CCL and the Women's Leadership Project hope that students will take away ways to help them if they're ever in a domestic violence situation or sexual assault situation or just in a bad situation in general.
Each campus partner had their own table set up to help students learn about the services that they offer.
We partnered with the community members of Jana's campaign and then Options, and then also Fort Hays State organizations of the Kelly Center and Title IX, and we hand out flyers and other things to help students know what to do if they're ever in the situation.
For Tiger Media Network, I'm Carissa Brown.
Many people carve pumpkins when Halloween gets close, but some FHSU students took part in painting pumpkins to give them a new look. On October 23rd, Circle K International hosted an event to bring smiles to residents of a local nursing home. Students gathered to paint pumpkins to show off their Halloween spirit. One of the goals of Circle K is to provide events that help or support others. FHSU student Kaylee Petrie told TMN reporter Maya McDonald that event was a simple way to brighten people's days and to help give some festive decorations to nursing home residents who might not otherwise have them. An annual fundraiser is sure to add a nice touch of color to your home or office. The Kiwanis Club of Hays is taking orders for its annual poinsettia fundraiser. The money raised through the event helps support youth activities and organizations in Hays. All profits go directly to local programs. The deadline to order is November 21st, and plants will be delivered on December 4th. For more information or an order form, visit tigermedianet.com. Last weekend, Us For You hosted a special event to get dogs into the Halloween spirit. The organization, along with the Western Plains Animal Refuge, hosted Spooktacular at Municipal Park in Hays. The event was designed to get owners and their pets to exercise more, and it also included a 5K run in costumes. Awards were given for best costumes for owners and their pets. The Hayes USD 489 Foundation for Educational Excellence gave the community a chance to support public education at the elementary and secondary level last weekend with its dinner show and auction. Tickets were sold for those wishing to attend, with entertainment provided by the Hayes High Chamber Singers. Dinner, refreshments, and snacks also were provided. The night included silent auction items as well as an oral auction. Proceeds will be used for security improvements in the district as well as help the foundation provide funding for future projects of students and teachers. FHSU students, faculty, and staff have an opportunity to give back to those less fortunate. Operation Christmas Child has boxes available in the Memorial Union and Forsyth Library for those looking to donate. The boxes will be sent to children in other countries and typically include small toys, clothing, and hygiene items. A packing party will be from noon to 2 p.m. November 19th in Stauffer Lounge. Items can be brought to the packing party and boxes will be supplied. A table also will be set up from noon to 2 p.m. November 14th in the Union to provide more information about Operation Christmas Child. Forsyth Library and the Union also will serve as drop-off location for boxes. When we return from this short break, Jenna will be here with news from around the globe.
Leadership is an interdisciplinary applied social science. So what that means is it's interdisciplinary in nature, which means that we bring in research and theories from a whole variety of different academic disciplines, and we put them together in ways that help students become effective agents of change in a whole variety of organizational settings. We teach transferable skills that work in lots of different organizational contexts. So things like change making and how organizations handle change and promote positive change, communication skills, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, a whole variety of other things that can be applied in lots of different types of situations.
I've learned a lot, especially through self-reflection, that is a big part of the leadership program. It's given me a lot of new tools and abilities to handle conflict, as well as showing me that I can be creative and I can do different things than what I'd always thought I was able to do.
I think that's so unique within the leadership department is we work on those personal development skills and how to be more empathetic towards other people and how to make our team members better people and how to make ourselves better people. And I think that's one thing that I've really appreciated and taken away from my time here at Fort Hays and in the leadership studies department is that it doesn't take a whole lot to be kind.
You know, leadership studies is all about how you work with people, how you connect with them, how you develop relationships. When I look at our students, I just want them to know that they can create change just as much as anybody else can. And that is what leadership studies is all about, is working with other people to create positive change, whether it be in our organizations, communities, or even the nation or world.
My name is Allie and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me out of my shell.
Hello Tigers, I'm Jenna Hawley and here's what's happening around the globe. Powerful winds are expected to sweep through California and affect the wildfire situation even more. More than 26 million people in California and Arizona are under red flag warnings as firefighters deal with the blazes burning in California's wine country and the LA area. In western Los Angeles, the Getty Fire destroyed at least 8 homes since early Monday. According to CNN, the Kincaid Fire, the largest active fire in the state, has scorched more than 75,000 acres in and around Northern California's Sonoma County since last week. Only 15% of the blaze has been contained by firefighters, and more than 120 structures have been destroyed and another 23 damaged. Due to fire risks, utility companies are planning to shut off power to hundreds of thousands of people.
They hope to lessen the chances their equipment will start or contribute to the blazes. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced Monday that the House will vote on a resolution to formalize the impeachment inquiry this week. In a letter sent to Democratic House lawmakers, Pelosi said the resolution affirms the ongoing existing investigation as well as establishes the procedure for future investigative steps. Republicans hit back Monday at Pelosi over the planned vote. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said a vote now is a bit like unringing a bell as House Democrats have selectively leaked information to damage President Trump for weeks. For weeks, Republicans have called for a formal House vote and have challenged the legitimacy of the current framework for impeachment proceedings. According to Fox News, Pelosi made clear in her letter that the vote is being conducted because of Republican complaints. She accused President Donald Trump and his GOP allies of holding the position that because the House has not taken a vote, they may simply pretend the impeachment inquiry doesn't exist. The vote is expected to take place Thursday on the House floor. The manhunt of the decade is over as the White House reported the death of terrorist leader al-Baghdadi on Sunday. The leader of the militant organization ISIS has been one of the CIA's most wanted men. According to the Tribune News Service, the terrorist's death was by the use of a suicide vest. 3 children and 2 women's lives were also taken in the blast, while no U.S. personnel were lost in the raid. The terrorist was tracked down with the help of a military dog who was injured in the blast. President Trump tweeted a picture of the German Shepherd, but its name has not been released by authorities. Attorney General William Barr said U.S. Attorney John Durham is making progress in his investigation into the Trump-Russia inquiry origins. Durham is receiving help from FBI Director Christopher Wray. Barr told Fox News that Director Wray and his team at the FBI have just been outstanding in support and responsiveness given to Mr. Durham. Durham opened a criminal investigation as part of his review. According to the Washington Examiner, the controversial actions taken by FBI Director James Comey in 2016 and 2017 are being looked at by Durham and were a key focus of DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz's lengthy investigation. Barr's defense of Wray comes as soon as some Republicans have criticized the Bureau's director in recent months. The Pentagon has warned the United States will repel any attempt to take Syria's oil fields away with overwhelming force. The U.S. military announced last week it would be reinforcing its position in Syria with additional assets to prevent oil fields from being taken over by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant or other armed groups. U.S. Defense Chief Mark Esper told reporters, U.S. troops will remain positioned in the strategic area to deny ISIS access to those vital resources, and we will respond with overwhelming military force against any group that threatens the safety of our forces there. According to Al Jazeera, President Donald Trump recently proposed hiring an American oil company to begin repairing Syria's oil infrastructure. Esper said last week that a mechanized force would reinforce U.S. positions in the oil region. He provided no details Monday about the makeup of the force. Esper said Monday he has seen no sign of Syrian or Russian forces challenging U.S. control of the oil fields. Security forces in Iraq opened fire at protesters in the Shiite holy city of Karbala on Tuesday. Officials said 18 people were killed, with hundreds wounded, in one of the deadliest attacks since the country was engulfed in protests this month. The attack came as Iraqis took to the streets for a 5th day in a row protesting the government's corruption, lack of services, and other grievances. At least 72 protesters have been killed since anti-government protests resumed Friday in the country. A total of 149 were killed during an earlier wave of protests this month. Officials said the attack Tuesday occurred in Karbala's Education Square. According to NBC News, the demonstrations are fueled by anger at corruption, economic stagnation, and poor public services. The protests have grown, and demonstrators are now calling for a large sum of changes. That's what is happening in the news world this week. Stay tuned for a sports update with Haley White when we return.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station and then the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, you know, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
Hello Tigers, I'm Haley White, bringing you a sports update. As the first set of D2 Super Region rankings were released earlier this week, FHSU football sits 9th in Super Region 3 with 3 weeks remaining in the regular season. At the end of the regular season, the top 7 teams are selected to compete in the playoffs. Although it doesn't look promising for the Tigers right now, there are several pivotal games within the Super Region 3 that are yet to be played that could drastically change the rankings for the following weeks of football. The Tigers are coming off a pivotal game themselves, beating Nebraska Kearney 37-31 at Lewis Field Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Kearney took down perennial power Northwest Missouri State 24-17 the week prior, eliminating another conference competitor who previously had a perfect record. In the win against the Lopers, quarterback Chance Fuller threw for a career-high 435 yards as he completed 28 of 39 passes. Fuller's efforts Saturday, with the help of his receiving targets, earned him the Mammoth Turf MIAA Football Offensive Athlete of the Week honors for the second straight week. Manny Ramsey finished with a team high of 169 receiving yards and an 88-yard touchdown. Harley Hazlett ended the contest with a team-high 9 catches for 81 yards, where he was just 1 reception shy of the career reception record for the program. Receiver Lane Bieberly also had a solid contest, collecting 127 yards and a touchdown. Earlier this week, Lane and I discussed his senior campaign entering week 9 of play. Despite going 0-2 at the start of the season, you guys are in the same position as you were a year ago. Did Coach Brown stress to you about how important it was to win out every single week?
He did, and he really stressed it right after the Emporia State game, because we sat in that same exact position from last year, and he said, you went out and you got a great chance, and we're going to take it. We're going to take these next 3 games and not take them for granted. You know, do the right things week in and week out, and we'll get it done.
What has been the differences between week 1 and week 2 compared to week 3 through 8?
You know, I think we're a totally different team. Just those first 2 games, even the 3rd game, you know, there's a lot of things to work on. But I think week by week, we're starting to realize that we have been correcting those little things week in and week out, and we're starting to just click on both sides of the ball. You know, especially offensively, just from experience. So.
The Tigers will road trip to Missouri this weekend to take on Lincoln University before facing powerful Northwest Missouri State in front of a home crowd. Kickoff Saturday is set for 1 p.m. in Jefferson City, Missouri. FHSU men's soccer moved up 3 spots in the latest United Soccer Coaches Top 25 poll. The Tigers went 2-0 on the week, picking up wins over Harding and Ouachita Baptist, which allowed them to improve their standings in the poll. FHSU sits as the only JAC team inside the top 25. The Tigers are 10-4-1 overall with just 1 match this week at Newman on Saturday. There are just 2 weeks remaining in the regular season as the Tigers need to grab 1 more win in order to clinch the number 1 seed for the conference tournament. Collecting that number 1 spot would give the Tigers home field advantage in the tournament. FHSU women's soccer earned the United Soccer Coaches Team Academic Award for its efforts in the classroom last year. This is the 4th time the team has earned the award, as it earned a 3.38 GPA. The Tigers ended last week's play with a scoreless draw with Rogers State and a 1-0 loss against Northeastern State. Up next for the Tigers is Nebraska Kearney at home on Friday, followed by a contest on the road against Washburn on Sunday. Coming off an 18-11 season and picked 4th among MIAA preseason coaches and media polls, FHSU men's basketball received votes in the NABC D2 preseason poll. This is the first time FHSU has received votes of the NABC poll since the 2016 season. Tiger fans got a glimpse of the men's squad this season as the team played an exhibition game against Kansas last week. Here's a closer look at the contest inside Allen Fieldhouse. FHSU men's basketball opened up its 2019-20 season inside Allen Fieldhouse as the Tigers took on the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks for an exhibition contest for the 12th time in program history. FHSU kept it tight during the opening minutes, taking an early lead before KU's offense paced itself to an 11-point lead at the half. The Tigers went on to an early 9-0 run during the second half to get back within 2, forcing KU head coach Bill Self to call a timeout with just a couple minutes shaved from the clock. The Jayhawks found rhythm once again on both ends of the court, gaining separation from the Tigers for the rest of the way. KU forced Fort Hays to fear the fog as the program went on to win the contest 86-56. FHSU shot 35.2% as a team from the field and 8 of 25 beyond the three-point line. All-time coaching wins leader Mark Johnson enters his 19th season at FHSU as the Tigers face Arkansas Tech and Southwestern Oklahoma State on the road November 8th and 9th. FHSU women's basketball is set to take on Kansas State for an exhibition contest this Friday. After winning the league a year ago, the women sit atop the MIAA preseason coaches and media polls. The team finished 32-2 last season, which was a new program record in the D2 era and the second most in team history. Head coach Tony Hobson enters his 12th season at FHSU with a career record of 650-200, which is the second most wins among all coaches in the conference. Tip-off Friday is slated for 6:30 p.m. inside Bramlage. After the strong season last year, the Tigers are once again a threat nationally. FHSU was picked 3rd in the preseason NCAA D2 poll released this week. With a unanimous vote, NCAA has modified its rules to allow college athletes to profit from their names, images, and likenesses. There will be separate divisions within the rule that maintains a distinction between college and professional sports to ensure there is no competitive imbalance. The Board of Governors of the NCAA, which ultimately made the decision, wants each division to implement the new rules by January 2021. That concludes this episode. Tune in next week for another episode of TMNtv. And as always, to stay up to date on the latest news and information throughout the week, visit tigermedianet.com. Until then, remember, roar Tigers!